One.
Hey everybody, it's Tom Van Ness and Pat Curtin on the camera. We're at Farland Classic Restoration. We're going to have a look at this 1991 Acura NSX with extremely low miles that's in our showroom. Super early example, 23,000 miles just over. Originally the NSX stood for New Sports Car Experimental, overseas known as the Honda NSX. It was Honda's first attempt to get into the supercar realm. The original NSX was so forward-thinking and had a huge influence over the famed designer Gordon Murray's McLaren F1, which would hit the market just 2 years later and go on to become a modern legend in the automotive realm. You can obviously see the design similarities when we take a step back. Aside from the huge influence the car created on the supercar industry, the NSX was also run through its paces by none other than Honda McLaren Formula One driver and legend Ayrton Senna, who had lots of input into the suspension before the car was released. Between the methodology of form over function and heavy influence from one of the world's premier drivers, the NSX was an immediate hit both in Japan and here in the US. Come on over here this side, Pat. The first cars were delivered to North America in late 1990. This car was built in November of 1990, as you can see right there, making it an incredibly early example delivered here to the United States. It came in Formula Red over black leather interior, which was by far the most popular spec of the NSX's original production run. Today, the car is highly valued for its ease of use when compared to Ferrari and exotics of the time. We joke that this has some of the most comfortable seats of any car in the showroom. Aside from being an early production run, it's also an incredibly original example. Having lived with a single owner here in Colorado for the past 30 years, when the Acura first came to us, the car had very few things it needed, as the car had been babied throughout much of its life. We recently finished up a huge detail on the underside of the car, which you can see over at our site. We also did an extensive service, including new clutch assembly and hydraulics, timing belt service, water pump, new tires, and a lot more. Believe it or not, the original front tires were still in the car, along with a second set of rears. We replaced all those with Continentals. Inside, the radio works very well. All right, inside, these Acura NSXs are famous for the radio going bad. Unfortunately, this one is in the same boat. That sound is actually a blown amp, not a warning sign. It goes off with the radio. The air conditioning unit does work very well, which is nice. Heats and cools very nicely, and that's all been adjusted and taken care of. So for the radio head unit, we have the ability to fix that with an upgraded guts, basically. Runs very, very much the same, looks identical, works much better, but also has Bluetooth, an additional auxiliary input, and is a fantastic solution. But right now we're keeping the car as normal, and that is something we can add to the deal. All right. As far as other items on the car, in keeping it extremely original, we do have a couple minor scrapes here that we have not touched yet. We have a new lip that's going on. And so that, we're thinking also maybe something that we're going to talk to potential customers about. Do you want to leave it completely not touched paint-wise, if this car's had no paint work and that kind of thing, or do we want to fix it and pretty up the scratches? All right, I'll be off script. So we recently sold a second generation NSX with the exact same color combination. Sad to see that one go, but we still have this beautiful one. One thing on these cars I want to point out also is the rearview mirror is nearly flawless, which is extremely rare on these. Both sides look great. That's it for now. Of course, if you'd like to learn more about this 91 Acura NSX or any of the other icons here in the shop and showroom, be sure to give our site a visit at carlocars.com, or be sure to keep looking with us on Instagram and Facebook. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out and visiting the 1991 Acura NSX with us.